ऑडियो वीडियो कंफर्म करिएगा। सभी को शाम वाली विधि राम है, सभी को शाम वाली गुड मॉर्निंग भी है जी, सबको नमस्ते जी। सरिता, प्रमोद, मीरा, धर्मपाल, जूली, गौतम, सभी को नमस्ते, सभी को हैप्पी सैटरडे। चल शुरू करते हैं आपकी क्लास। बट इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, एनी क्वेश्चन, query, you can ask this and then I will proceed. Today's box is full. किससे भरा है today's box? Innuendo, irony, sarcasm, periphrasis, circumlocution, euphemism, meiosis, and litotes. These are the main figures of speech that you have to cover today. And apart from these, which are mentioned here on your board, you will have a few more related to these ones. So like the channel and share the channel before I start. Still waiting for your query, still waiting for your message. First minute is yours for your query, for your question. To raise your query, do raise your hands if you have any question, any query, and just confirm the audibility and visibility. Channel, namaste. Just confirm the audibility and visibility. Then let's start figures of speech. Figures based on indirectness. Figures based on indirectness. There are some figures of speech that are used, but they are not directly used. They are indirectly used. How and when, you will know through these. First one is innuendo. Innuendo, this is the pronunciation, and it is an indirect and usually malicious implication which hints at something, damaging to the character or reputation of a person referred to. It is a figure of speech that is used to malice someone's personality, to damage someone's character, and it is not used directly, instead it is used indirectly to damage someone's personality, to damage someone's character, right? To show your malicious attitude towards someone, to use this figure of speech called innuendo. This is the book in Perspectives on Semantics, Pragmatics, and Discourse. This is the book written by discourse theorist Bruce Fraser, and he observes that an indirect allegation is encoded in the expression of an innuendo. Right? What is it? It is an indirect allegation. Right? Allegation means to make charge against someone indirectly. Indirect allegation. For example, she is rich but honest. She is rich. Sudha Kaushik is rich but honest. What does the sentence show? The sentence shows that rich people are not honest. She is rich but honest means she is rich and she is honest. And how could be an honest person be rich? Rich person is not honest. This is the real meaning of the sentence. Right? This is the real meaning of the sentence. Here you are disparaging the character of a rich person or a character of an honest person, in fact. Right? This is called innuendo. Right? The statement she is rich but honest insinuates that rich people are generally not honest. Right? Rich people is generally not honest, but my student Kavita is rich and honest. Both are equally true. But if you say that she is rich but honest means honest people are not supposed to be rich. All right. Similarly, a remark such as he was acquitted, somebody had committed a crime, and he was the son of a political leader, and he was acquitted. Then somebody says, it is good to be the son of a politician. It is good to be the son of a politician. It means you are making an allegation. You are alleging a politician because of his influence, his son has been acquitted. This is called innuendo. All right, this is called innuendo. He was acquitted. It's good to be the son of a politician, and the sentence implies via innuendo that the father of the accused made corrupt use of his political power to get his guilty son acquitted. This is called innuendo. All right, any doubt, any confusion regarding the definition? Innuendo is an indirect remark, indirect comment on someone or something to damage his personality. The first sentence, he is rich but honest, it damages the personality of a rich person. And the second sentence, he was acquitted, it's good to be the son of a politician. Here the character of politician is damaged through the words, that is called innuendo. All right, it's not enough, I know. I'll be giving you a few more examples, but whatever I have told you so far, I hope it's very much clear to you. Now I proceed to the next slide and let's see what is here. Here few examples, and once again the examples are from The Rape of the Lock, written by none other than the great satirist, the great rhetorician of the time, Alexander Pope. Innuendo doesn't mean invective, it is a bit more. The hungry judges soon the sentence sign, and wretches hang that jurymen may dine. This is a comment on the judicial system of England by Mr. Alexander Pope. The hungry judges soon the sentence sign. How was the judges? They were hungry, and they were hungry, so they passed the verdict quickly. They gave the decision in a hurry, and the wretches hang that jurymen may dine. And as soon as the verdict was passed, the victims were hanged. Even before hungry jurymen completed their dinner, the victims were hanged. So you could understand in how much hurry they were. Right, this is the example. Pope is indirectly condemning here careless attitude of judges and members of the jury. Right, careless attitudes of the judges and members of the jury who irresponsibly hurry through a trial for their own selfish reasons because they were hungry, without considering the implications of their acts on the lives of accused, and the accused were instantly hanged. They were sentenced to death, and before the dinner was completed, the accused were hanged. Right, this is the example. At the end of the third act of Shakespeare's Macbeth, Lennox discusses the recent spate of high-profile murders in Scotland with a nobleman. His speech is couched in innuendo. Lennox appears at the gate of Macbeth, knocking at the gate of Macbeth. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Deans killed, for fleens fled, men must not walk too late. Lennox is indirectly implying that their King Macbeth is behind the murder, and his speech reveals that the people of Scotland have begun to see through Macbeth's lies. Right, this is the example of innuendo used by William Shakespeare, spoken by Lennox. Lennox is here making a reference that King Duncan was killed by Macbeth, and now people are identifying, people are recognizing the criminal, people are catching the lies of Macbeth. Difference between satire, irony and sarcasm, Zubair Mir. To know the difference between all these, you have to stick to the channel till the end. Till the end of the class, you have to be here, and I'll try to make each and every point very much clear. So don't be in a hurry like hungry judges. Right? Like hungry judges, don't be in a hurry. I am here, we remain here, and you will know each and everything very clearly. All right? Shakespeare frequently uses sexual innuendo. Shakespeare innuendo. Innuendo means you could say double meaning or triple meaning. In an innuendo, there is a surface meaning, and then other one is the hidden meaning. That is called latent meaning, and latent meaning is generally sexual meaning, sexual innuendo. Shakespeare frequently uses sexual innuendo, which is the use of words with double meaning, one innocent and one having a sexual implication. This was very prominent literary figure until about the 19th century, when the Victorian emphasis on sexual restraint and morality made such innuendos taboo. And you know that in 1807, Shakespeare's plays were edited by Mr. Thomas Baldo and Henrietta Baldo, and they had deleted the sexual innuendos from the plays. Hence, their version is called Family Shakespeare. Right, Family Shakespeare, and hence you have the word Bowdlerise. Thomas Baldo published the Family Shakespeare, which deleted sexual innuendos that were considered objectionable. Subsequently, Bowdlerise became a verb meaning to edit by deleting or modifying parts of a work considered improper or offensive. Examples of the notorious innuendos used by Shakespeare may be found in the following lines of Ophelia. Ophelia and Hamlet are talking in Act 3, Scene 2 of the play. Hamlet says to Ophelia, "Lady, shall I lie in your lap? Shall I lie in your lap? What does it mean? Shall I lie in your lap?" Ophelia, "No, my lord." Hamlet says, "I mean my head upon your lap." "My head upon your lap." Ophelia, "Yes, my lord." Yeah. Then Hamlet says, "Do you think I meant country matters? Do you think I meant country matters?" And then Ophelia says, "I am nothing, I think nothing, my lord." Hamlet says, "That's fair thought to lie between maid's legs." That's fair thought to lie between maid's legs. Ophelia says, "What is, my lord?" Hamlet says, "Nothing." "You are married, my lord." तो ना ये छोटे छोटे डायलॉग्स हैं, शॉर्ट डायलॉग्स हैं, and in literary terms these short dialogues are called sticomythia. Right? They are called sticomythia, and this dialogue, this portion has been taken from Shakespeare's Hamlet, and it is full of sexual innuendos. How lie? Shall I lie in your lap? How could anybody ask a lady to lie in her lap? And lie in the lap has a double meaning. Lie in the lap means to put your head in the lap and to have sex. That is innuendo, double meaning. Second, country matters. Country matters also suggests sexual affairs, and nothing is also symbolizes sexual innuendo. So there are three innuendos in these speeches. Lie means sleep with. Ophelia is aware of the double meaning. Do you think I meant country matters? Would on one level mean, do you think I meant to be rude and indecent? But there is an innuendo in that line as well. Hamlet's use of the words head, country, and nothing are all references to genitalia, and thus examples of sexual innuendo. देखिए, shall I lie in your lap? I mean my head upon your lap. And Ophelia says, I think nothing, my lord. To lie between maid's leg. Right? These are the examples of sexual innuendo used by William Shakespeare in his play Hamlet. And you know that Shakespeare was a master of rhetoric. He was a master of figures of speech, and hardly he wrote a single dialogue that doesn't carry a figure of speech, that doesn't carry a special use of language. Shakespeare is Shakespeare. That's why he is a genius, and he is known as he knew only little Latin and less Greek. All right. Please consult a good dictionary, Ajay, and then you will understand the meaning of the term that you are asking. Right? And I hope you have a good dictionary. You can go through. Right? And if you want to buy a good dictionary, you can go with either this one, the Cambridge dictionary, or you could go with the Longman dictionary that must be lying here or there. Right? You can go with the good dictionary to get the meaning. Right? इतना deeply कोई explain नहीं करता. I don't know and I can't say. Right? But if you are going through the literary terms, if you are going through the figures of speech, then you have to go in deep. Right? You have to read the play completely, and then you can understand who and what Shakespeare was. And Shakespeare is not an easy task for everyone. Shakespeare's meaning is very deep, and you know that Shakespeare died around 500 years ago, around 400 years ago, and he is still relevant, and that's why he is taught in all the universities of the world. Across the world, he is equally popular. It was his genius. All right. पढ़ाता ही कौन है? मैं तो अपने एमए की क्लास में एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. मेरे एमए के क्लास में ये हैमलेट प्ले प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है, and Hamlet I explain each and every line in my class to all the students. After innuendo, I come to the next figure of speech, that is irony. Irony, there are total 5 types of irony, and irony, the term has come from Greek iron. Right? एक करेक्टर हुआ करता है, स्टॉक करेक्टर में, वहीं से irony आया. Verbal irony is very much famous. What is verbal irony? When you want to say something, by saying opposite of it, opposite of that, that is called irony. Suppose that somebody has failed in the examination and you say that you are the topper, you have topped the exam, and you want to say that you have failed the exam. This is called irony. This is called verbal irony. Irony, according to the 1st century Roman orator Quintilian, Quintilian was a Roman orator and he wrote a book called Institutio Oratoria. Irony is a rhetorical device that uses words to mean something opposite to their literal meaning. Right? Words are used to express the opposite to the literal meaning. Opposite जो उसके कर देता है उसको बोलते हैं irony. फिगर आप इस पेज की दुनिया बहुत बड़ी है. The classical rhetoricians viewed irony as one of the four main troops. There are four main troops. Main troops में कौन कौन से हैं? Main troops में you have metaphor, metonymy, synecdoche, and irony. These are the four main troops. What is true? In the beginning, I told you that there are two types of figures of speech. One is troop and other is scheme. Scheme, arrangement of words, and troop that affects the meaning. Word that denotes something else, उसको बोलते हैं troop. Right, the classical rhetoricians viewed irony as one of the four master troops, other three being metaphor, metonymy, synecdoche, as it enriches meaning by turn of phrase. Written is something else and meaning is something else. The reader should note that there will be discussing verbal irony. मुझे तो वर्बल आयरनी को ही यहाँ पर बेसिकली डिस्कस करना है, बट आई विल लेट यू नो अ फ्यू मोर फैक्ट्स अबाउट आयरनी. तो इनुएंडो का एग्जाम्पल है, कुछ दिया हुआ है, छोड़ देते हैं इसको. यू विल गेट ऑल दिस इन योर पीडीएफ. And I think you know that PDF आपको कहाँ से मिलता है ना. कि बहुत से लोग नटशेल में ही ऑल फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच 1-2 आवर्स में टीच करके फिनिश कर देते हैं, और मेरा भी यही कहना है. मतलब कहने का मतलब सर था कि इतना डीप था. देखिए, खत्म करने में मैं भी खत्म कर दूं, इसमें क्या है, स्पीड मेरे पास भी है, बट वो स्पीड आपके काम की नहीं है. यू आर अ लर्नर एंड आई एम नॉट टीचिंग इन अ यूनिवर्सिटी क्लास. आई एम नॉट टीचिंग इन माय क्लास वेयर टाइम इज लिमिटेड. हियर ऑन यूट्यूब टाइम इज अनलिमिटेड and it is for free. So I am also enjoying the platform provided by the YouTubers, provided by the YouTube. And in the process, you are also learning something, you are also getting something. My purpose is to teach you so that you could clear the exam. Your purpose is to learn something so that you could clear the exam and then you could teach your students. Right? You could teach your students. Knowledge जो है वो कैसे पास होता है फ्रॉम वन टीचर टू अदर टीचर. और ये भी सोचो, मुझे भी तो किसी ने पढ़ाया ही होगा, मुझे भी किसी ने पढ़ाया ही होगा. थोड़ा पढ़ाया होगा, थोड़ा मैंने पढ़ा होगा, और थोड़ा पढ़ के खुद सर्च किया होगा, फिर आज इस लेवल पर आए हैं. तो आप भी इसी तरीके से पढ़ते रहिए, सीखते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए और दूसरों को भी बढ़ाते रहिए. दैट्स व्हाई आई रिक्वेस्ट यू ईच डे to forward the channel, to forward the video to other students so that they could also get the benefit. I know that nowadays people don't have so much time to invest in their studies, right? They get all the knowledge ready made and Google gives answer you at a single click and you are satisfied. But ready-made knowledge is never good. Ready-made knowledge cannot last long. If you have read a book, if you have been taught by a good teacher, that makes an impression on your mind and you are always indebted to that teacher, to that good book. और इसीलिए what is books? Books are not made of only pages or ink. They are full of knowledge and knowledge gives you freedom. The three basic features of irony. Number one, contrast of appearance and reality. There must be a contrast between appearance and reality. For example, if something is black and you say him white, right? अगर कोई बहुत खूबसूरत है, आप उसको हेलेन ना कहने के बजाय क्या कह देते हैं? उसको आप हेलेन ना कहने के बजाय कैलिबन की मधु बता दे साइकोरैक्स. तो साइकोरैक्स will be just opposite to Helen. That will be an irony, right? A confident unawareness pretended in the ironist, real in the victim of the irony, that the appearance is only appearance and not reality. The comic effect of this unawareness of contrasting appearance and reality. These are the 3 points of irony, and such questions are asked in UGC. There will be 4 statements, and out of the 4 statements, question क्या होगा? Which of the following is not one of the 3 basic features of irony? Then you will be clicking at the right answer. Right? Contrast of appearance and reality, confident unawareness in the victim of irony, the comic effect of this unawareness of a contrasting appearance and reality, and these 3 basic features were discussed by Douglas Collins Mukic in the book Irony, Mython, publishing 1970. Right? इस बुक की ये पूरे 3 बातें हैं. An excellent example of verbal irony may be found in the opening line of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Jane Austen was a romantic novelist. She is known for her novels like Emma, Mansfield Park, Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, Sense and Sensibility. And she is called the Queen of Irony. She is called the Queen of Irony. The opening lines of the novel Sense and Sensibility declares that a single man, it is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. If a man is single and he has good fortune, it means he must be in need of a wife. This is the opening statement of the novel Pride and Prejudice. And once we start reading the novel, we see that it is not the man who is in possession of good fortune in want of a wife, but it is the Bennet daughters who are in need of a man of good fortune, single man in good fortune. So whatever is written, whatever is stated in the beginning of the novel is reversed in the novel. Novel के अंदर reverse हो जाता है, and that reversal is called irony. This is the example of verbal irony. It is the truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of good fortune must be in want of a wife. Right? ये Pride and Prejudice का opening statement है, and this is the best example of irony. All right. अच्छा, बहुत गोरे लोगों को कलुआ कह देते हैं? नहीं, बहुत गोरे लोगों को काजल लगा देते हैं कि नजर ना लग जाए जूली की कहीं, है ना? नजर से बचने के लिए काजल का यूज करते हैं. There are total 5 kinds of irony. 3 kinds of ironies were there in classicals, and 2 more kinds were added by the modernist narratologists. मॉडर्न नैरेटोलॉजिस्ट जो है उन्होंने 2 और ऐड कर दिया है. सोक्रेटिक आयरनी, ड्रामेटिक और ट्रैजिक आयरनी, लिंग्विस्टिक आयरनी, and then structural irony and romantic irony. These are 5 kinds of irony. 5 kinds of irony ये होते हैं. All right. Socratic irony, a mask of innocence and ignorance. Mask of innocence and ignorance adopted to win an argument. Socratic irony. Dramatic irony or tragic irony, a double vision of what is happening in a play or real life situation. And linguistic irony is a duality of meaning, now the classic form of irony. Building on the idea of dramatic irony, the Romans concluded that language often carries a double message, a second often mocking or sardonic meaning running contrary to the first. In modern times, two further conceptions have been added: structural irony, that is built into texts in which the observations of a naive narrator point up deeper implications of situation, and then romantic irony, in which writers conspire with readers to share the double vision of what is happening in the plot of a novel or film. And this quotation has been taken from the book The Oxford Companion to English Language, written by Tom MacArthur. Right, he talks about these 5 types of ironies: Socratic irony, dramatic or tragic irony, linguistic irony, and then structural irony and romantic irony. These are 5 types of ironies. Right, 5 types of ironies in literature. See the examples. Everybody has heard the name of Orwell. Orwell was a 20th century novelist, and his novels like 1984 and Animal Farm are very much famous. Everybody is aware of these 2 novels at least. His novel Animal Farm is basically a beast fable. The characters of the novels are animals. The dictatorial Napoleon exiles a fellow leader so that he can enjoy more power. There is a leader who has been exiled. Exile कर दिया गया है क्यों? So that he could enjoy, Napoleon could enjoy more power. But what does he say? He says that I trust that every animal here appreciates the sacrifice that Comrade Napoleon has made in taking this extra labor upon himself. He is a ruler. He is a ruler, and he says that every animal acknowledges, appreciates that Napoleon has taken this extra burden. Do not imagine that leadership is a pleasure. Don't imagine that leadership is a pleasure. This is a statement from the novel Animal Farm, and you know that in fact leadership is actually a pleasure nowadays, and it was actually a pleasure for Napoleon in the novel Animal Farm, but he was just giving the opposite remarks. He was just giving the opposite comment, right, by saying that every animal here appreciates the sacrifice that the Comrade Napoleon has made in taking this extra labor upon himself. And what is the extra labor? To rule them. Extra labor was to rule them. This was the method, right? And do not imagine that leadership is a pleasure, and in fact it was not a burden. He has achieved the power, he has snatched the power, and leadership is not a pleasure, और उसको deny कर रहा है. So whatever he wants to convey, he conveys through the opposites. That is called irony. In the novel Animal Farms, there are several ministries, and ministries के जो names हैं उनके against ministry काम करती है. जैसे there is the novel is 1984. 1984 is the novel, dystopia है ऑरवेल की, और उसमें जो मिनिस्ट्री है, द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्रुथ। अब आपको क्या लगता है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्रुथ क्या काम करेगी? डेफिनेटली इट विल स्प्रेड ट्रुथ, but in fact the ministry of truth spread lies, right? The ministry of truth spreads propaganda and false dogma. The ministry of peace waged war instead of restoring peace, and ministry of love uses fear, repression and torture to achieve its aim. Ministry of fear, ministry of love in fact creates fear. Ministry of peace in fact raises war. Ministry of truth spreads propaganda. These all are the ironic departments, ironic language used by George Orwell in the novel 1984. Right? 1984 is the novel by George Orwell. Just read these two lines. Two lines, these are the two opening lines of the Rape of the Law. What dire offense from amorous causes spring, what mighty contest rise from trivial things. Mighty contest rise from trivial things. And what was the mighty contest? Mighty contest was just cutting the hair of Belinda. Right, so for cutting the hair of Belinda, he is using mighty contest, powerful contest, right? Battle like Mahabharat. तो ये है irony, जो है वही नहीं है, right? Mighty contest ironically refers to a petty quarrel between two upper class families ensuing from the shearing of ladies' curl of hair by a young nobleman. This one is called irony. These are the examples of irony. But Brutus says that he was ambitious. Who was? Julius Caesar was ambitious and Brutus is an honorable man. This is the statement made by Mark Antony. Right? Julius Caesar was ambitious and Brutus is an honorable man. And Brutus was the murderer of Julius Caesar. How can Brutus be honorable? ये मार्क एंटनी ही जानता है कि कैसे honorable man है वो. Last week I saw a woman played and you will hardly believe how much it altered her person for the worse. Now lap dogs give themselves the rousing shake and sleepless lovers just at 12 awake. Right? ये सारी lines हैं. So ironic lines हैं from different textbooks. This is also an irony. The progress of science cannot perhaps be otherwise registered than by new facilities of destruction. What is the progress of science? Mamata teaches science. Right? Mamata teaches science and John Ruskin says that the progress of science is providing the facility of destruction. The progress of science cannot perhaps be otherwise registered than by new facilities of destruction, and the brotherly love of our enlarging Christianity be only proved by multiplication of murder. Love is proved by murder. Science is known by destruction. That is irony. Right? Progress of science leads to destruction and progress of brotherhood leads to multiplication of murder. This is called irony. Clear? Fine. Now come to sarcasm. Sarcasm and irony, almost they are equal. Almost they are equal and both are used to satirize someone. Both are used to satirize someone. Sarcasm is intentional derision and verbal aggression, usually involving overt irony. Irony यहाँ पर भी यूज करते हैं, overt irony होती है. It may be used to taunt or hurt a person or a group of people or even attack. Sarcasm is used to attack a people, to attack people, to hurt people, or even to hurt, even to attack an idea. It uses language in such a way as to excite contemplation. कैसी लैंग्वेज यूज करता है? It uses language in such a way as to excite contempt or ridicule. Right? In speech, sarcasm is commonly indicated by inflecting one's voice, that is, altering the tone and pitch of the voice. Sarcasm is basically used in spoken language, and the way you speak, the way you pronounce, ये बताता है sarcasm क्या है. In Andrew Marvell's poem, to his coy mistress, that is, seize the day, the frustrated lover mocks his overly modest beloved for rejecting his advances. So he wants to make love because he believes in present time, that is, carpe diem, seize the opportunity that you have been given, but his beloved is constantly denying. He is making a distance from her lover. What does he say? He says that after your death, the grave is a fine and private place. Grave is a fine and private place. You will be rested there. You will be there. और हो सकता है मैं भी मर जाऊं. But none, I think, do there embrace. Nobody will be there in your grave to embrace you. कोई वहां पर होगा नहीं आपकी कब्र में कि आपको वहां पे जाकर इम्प्रेस करे. और इसीलिए आगे बताता है your long preserved virginity shall be destroyed by bombs. Clear? His caustic comments ridicule her cold chastity. Sarcasm thus makes use of keen reproachful expression, usually accompanied by some degree of scorn. Right? Sarcasm always creates laughter by scorning, by contemning, by criticizing someone or someone's idea. Right? Sarcastic comments आप सुनते हैं, वो sarcastic comments यहीं से sarcasm से बनते हैं. In Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, the short-statured character Maria was a girl working in the house of Olivia, and there Maria's Toby Belk and then Mr. Ogachik, right, Malvalio were working also there. Maria is short-heighted, and short-statured Maria makes fun of the protagonist Waila. उसका मजाक उड़ाती है. And how does Waila react? Waila in turn retaliates by sarcastically referring to Maria as a giant. Maria को giant बताती है, right? इतनी बड़ी है, but है वो कितनी बड़ी? है वो बहुत short heighted और वो बिल्कुल इतनी बड़ी है, right? अब कोई इतना छोटा हो और आप उसको बताने लगे, right, short heighted को कि वो giant है, तो that will be sarcasm. Right? In Julius Caesar, Cassius is annoyed that the people of Rome fawn upon Caesar as though he were a god. Though Caesar was a human being and he was proposed by the Romans, as god. He recounts an incident when Caesar had an epileptic fit, saying, "It is true, this god did shake. Cassius is sneering at Caesar. A god wouldn't suffer from epilepsy, and so Caesar is no god. This line also works as an innuendo because it has double meaning, one hidden meaning and one surface meaning. Hidden meaning is called latent meaning. So innuendo है वो and sarcasm here. Julius Caesar is suffering from epilepsy and he is considered by people of Rome as God. That is sarcasm. When Hamlet, feigning madness, tells Ophelia that his father has been dead for less than 2 hours, corrects him saying that it has been 4 months in fact. हैमलेट क्या नाटक करता है कि फादर को मरे अभी 2 घंटे हुए और ओफेलिया करेक्ट करके कहती नहीं 4 महीने हो गए हैं। फिर हैमलेट क्या कहता है? हैमलेट रिप्लाइज ड्रिपिंग विद सरकाज्म, सो लॉन्ग, ओ हेवंस, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. 2 महीने पहले मर गया, अभी भूला नहीं हूं। Then there is a hope, great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. In fact, जो मदर है हैमलेट की, गर्ट्रूड, she has married his uncle Claudius, and this thing is not digested by Hamlet. So Hamlet feigns to be mad and Hamlet ridicules, right? Ridicule भी करता है अपनी मदर को। Yes, Mamta, Caesar was suffering with epilepsy, right? Suffering from epilepsy. Epilepsy को हिंदी में मिर्गी कहते हैं और उसी से वो सफर करता है। Next figure of speech is periphrasis or circumlocution. Periphrasis or circumlocution. I hope you understand the meaning of circumlocution. Not to come to the point directly. Circumlocution means to beat around the bush. To beat around the bush and not come to the point, that is called circumlocution, that is called periphrasis. Right? To speak at length, to speak too much, but not to come to the point. That is called periphrasis, that is called circumlocution. This figure consists in stating something not directly but in a roundabout way. The laconic nature of direct speech usually lacks semantic richness. Periphrasis often adds depth and magnificence to the language of poetry. Consider the following lines from William Shakespeare's sonnet number 74. When that fell arrest without all bail shall carry me away. इतनी बड़ी लाइन लिखी है and what does the line mean? उसका मतलब क्या है? The expression fell means cruel arrest without all bail, एक ऐसा अरेस्ट होना जहां पर कोई जमानत ना हो। उस अरेस्ट को क्या कहेंगे? कैसे ही अरेस्ट है वो जिसकी कोई जमानत ना हो, और वो कौन अरेस्ट करता है जहां पर जमानत नहीं होती? That is, instead of directly saying death, the writer, the poet is using too many words, right? But he is not coming to the point directly. That is the figure of speech of indirectness, and that is called periphrasis, that is called circumlocution. When the poet, when the writer, when the novelist, when the dramatist doesn't come to the point, right? But he beats around the bush, that is circumlocution. Death, in plain English, death takes one into custody as if with a non-bailable arrest warrant. The legal image in the circumlocution convey a sense of helplessness and finality from which one cannot escape. Arrest without a bail. This richness of meaning is absent in the simple word death. Death में तो उतना मजा नहीं आएगा, उतनी मीनिंग नहीं कन्वे हो पाएगी जितनी मीनिंग इस पेरिफ्रासिस में सर्कमलोक्यूशन में आ गई है. Periphrasis was a staple device of epic and descriptive poetry from classical times to Renaissance. एक और एग्जाम्पल देखे. And while he bathed with her two crafty spies, secretly would search her gently. Two crafty spies, spies माने जासूस, और दो crafty spies कौन है? Instead of directly saying eyes, eyes है ना two, तो क्या बोल रहा है? Two crafty spies. Instead of saying a single word eyes, the poet is using three words: crafty spies. Not only crafty, right? Two crafty spies. इसको बोलते हैं periphrasis. Right? This line is from Fairy Queen. Eyes are described as two crafty spies. Such periphrasis adds meaning. The woman's gaze is surreptitious, like a spy. He observes him but takes care to be beat. Observe भी करती है और इसका भी ख्याल रखती है कहीं वो पकड़ी ना जाए, कहीं उसे कोई देख ना ले. ये खाली वेमेन की आंखें कर सकती हैं और इसीलिए उसको क्या बोलता है? क्राफ्टी स्पाइस. क्राफ्टी माने क्रूक. नहीं, मेटोनमी तो बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता. मेटोनमी तो बिल्कुल हो ही नहीं सकता. ये देखिए क्या है? व्हाट इज इट हियर ऑन योर स्क्रीन? Everybody knows that this is a banana. All right? Everybody knows that this is the banana. But instead of saying this is banana, ये तो साइंस का टीचर बोल देगा बनाना है, और जो पोएट है ना वो इसको क्या कह रहा है? The elongated yellow fruit. Instead of simply saying banana, the poet is saying the elongated yellow fruit. This is called what? This is called periphrasis. This is called circumlocution. All right, this is called circumlocution. A banana is a scientific, is बिल्कुल plain word है, simple word है, but an elongated yellow fruit is the example of periphrasis. One more example दिमाग में आ रहा है. हार्ड टाइम्स में जब आप जाते हैं तो जो टीचर है ग्रेड एक दिन पूछता है क्लास के स्टूडेंट से, व्हाट इज अ हॉर्स? व्हाट इज अ हॉर्स? हॉर्स क्या होता है? So instead of simply saying that horse is an animal, what does his son say? उसका बेटा क्या बताता है? A quadruped gramivore. Quadruped gramivore. Instead of directly saying horse, a quadruped gramivore कह देना. ये है circumlocution, ये है periphrasis. Yes, बिल्कुल कविता ने पहले बता दिया था. A quadruped gramivore. थोड़ा स्पेलिंग गलत थी बस. जी, जलेबी की तरह सीधा. हाँ जी, जलेबी की तरह सीधा कर दे, इमरती की तरह क्यों ना बना दे, है ना? ये एग्जाम्पल क्लियर हुआ गया ना? ये elongated yellow fruit is banana. This is the example of periphrasis. देखिए कुछ मजेदार एग्जाम्पल्स हैं। द स्लीप दैट नोज नो वेकिंग, ऐसी नींद जो उठना नहीं जानती, क्या कहते हैं उसको? डेथ। इंस्टेड ऑफ सिंपली सेइंग डेथ, you say that she has slept and she will never wake up, सो गया है वो, कभी नहीं उठा। ये सर हम लोग राइट। आज उसने अपनी आखिरी सांस ली, ऐसे बोलते हो ना, आज उसने अपनी आखिरी सांस ली। इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली सेइंग ही इज नो मोर, डेथ हो गई है, आप उसको लंबा सा घुमा। द शाइनिंग लेदर that encases the limb, shining leather that encases the limb, ठीक है, यह है शूज, यह है जूता। shining leather that encases the limb, instead of simply saying boot, instead of simply saying shoe, you have used 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 words. This is circumlocution, this is periphrasis. The cup that cheer but not inebriate, चाय पीते हो ना सुबह, और कप में चाय पीते हो, और वो चाय को सिंपली ना कह के कि मैं चाय पी रहा हूं, बट कविता क्या कहती है कि आई टेक द कप दैट cheer but not inebriate, cheer तो करता है लेकिन नशा नहीं करता, वो है चाय, वो है not inebriate. Inebriate means intoxication. ये है चाय। The cups that cheer but not inebriate. अब कल जब चाय की दुकान पे जाइएगा तो बोलिएगा चाय वाले से, I want a cup that cheer but not inebriate. And let's see कि वो आपको क्या देता है। शायद आप दिन भर खड़े रहेंगे और वो आपको चाय नहीं देगा, बिकॉज जो चाय बेचता है not the cup that cheers but not inebriates, वो नहीं बेचता। This is called periphrasis. This is called circumlocution. The sightless couriers of air. Sightless means viewless, invisible. The invisible couriers of air. Air के courier जो invisible हैं, कितना बड़ा वर्ड बता दिए हैं, और सिंपल सी मीनिंग है उसकी विंड, हवा। Right? The sightless in जो है sightless couriers of air, शेक्सपियर की मैकबेथ की लाइन है, that is winds. This is the example of circumlocution. The orbed maiden with white fire laden. Orbed maiden with white fire laden. कैसी फायर है? White fire, बिल्कुल सफेद आग। क्या है वो? मेडेन है, लड़की है। कैसी लड़की है? आर्म्ड, आर्म्ड लड़की है और सफेद आग से बिल्कुल नहाई हुई। कौन है वो? उसका नाम है मून, राइट, उसका नाम है मून। और एक मून के लिए पूरा स्टेटमेंट शेली हैज यूज्ड इन हिज पोएम द क्लाउड। क्लियर? सर्कमलोक्यूशन एंड पेरिफ्रेसिस क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं? कोई डाउट हो तो बताओ। भगा देगा दुकान से ना, इसलिए लिटरेचर वाले क्लास में ही लिटरेचर होते हैं, चाय की दुकान पर चुपचाप बैठे रहते हैं, चाय पी लेते हैं। ममता इज द आर्म्ड मेडेन विद वाइट फायर लाडेन, राइट। ममता इज वाइट, द आर्म्ड मेडेन विद वाइट फायर लाडेन, एंड शी इज मून, राइट। ये पोएट होते हैं, ये लवर्स होते हैं, जो अपनी बिलवेड को कैसे कैसे एड्रेस करते हैं, है ना, कैसे कैसे अपने बिलवेड को एड्रेस करते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर करके बेवकूफ बनाने का काम कर लेते हैं, है ना। चलो, कोई डाउट हो तो शेयर करो, और नहीं तो प्रोसीड करो। क्या हुआ ममता? वाई सरप्राइज? बेवकूफ बनाते हैं। चलो कम से कम हुडा इतना बताने तो आई तुम। तो सोच रहा था आज तुम आई ही नहीं हो, बट ये हमारे जो मून्स है ना, सीक्रेट व्यूअर्स हैं, चुपचाप खाली देखते हैं, स्क्रीन पे नहीं आते। थैंक यू फॉर शोइंग योर अपीयरेंस। ये भी एक सर्कमलोक्यूशन है। नो डाउट। Office of circumlocution appears in one of the novels of Charles Dickens, and the name of the novel where this office of circumlocution appears is Little Dorrit. और क्या होता है ऑफिस ऑफ सर्कमलोक्यूशन? No public business of any kind could possibly be done at any time without the assistance of the circumlocution. Whatever was required to be done, the circumlocution office was beforehand with all public departments in the art of perceiving how not to do it. ये ऑफिस ऑफ सर्कमलोक्यूशन है, राइट? ये ऑफिस ऑफ सर्कमलोक्यूशन है चार्ल्स डिकेंस में। जूम पर, अच्छा जूम पर लीजिए, सब दिख जाएंगे। अरे नहीं, मुझे देखना ही नहीं है, मैं ऐसे ही ठीक हूँ। I don't need any orbed maiden with white fire laden to disturb me, right? I don't need any orbed maiden with white fire laden to disturb the entire class. Let them be there. They are in their seventh heaven, and from the seventh heaven they are enjoying the class with the cups that cheer but not inebriate. Next figure of speech is यूफिमिज्म। बड़ा सिंपल है यूफिमिज्म, और आप सबको पता है यूफिमिज्म क्या होता है। यूफिमिज्म is a figure of speech where we use polite way to say something harsh. Instead of saying something harsh, you always say very polite. You always use very polite, right? Polite words जो है वो वो यूफिमिज्म। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ओथेलो जब डेस्डिमोना को मारने जा रहा होता है, he says put out the light, then I will put out your light. Put out the light, then I will put out your light. This is the example of euphemism. It's saying बत्तियां बुझा दो, फिर मैं तुम्हारी बत्ती बुझाता हूँ। Instead of directly saying I am going to kill you, what does he say? Put out the light, then I will put out your light. This is euphemism. एक रिप्लाई में सारे एग्जाम्पल्स फिट कर दिया। ऐसे ही फिट करो तब तुमको भी याद रहेगा, राइट? ऐसे ही फिट करो फिर तुम्हें भी याद रहेगा, नहीं तो सब इकट्ठा करोगे ना भूल ही जाएगा। A euphemism substitutes a harsh expression with a mild one or softens the harsh word or expressions. Harsh words को mild करना euphemism का काम है। To make something offensive palatable. Palatable समझ रहे हो ना? प्लेट में करके किसी को दे देना, उसको palatable बोलते हैं। To make something offensive palatable is euphemism, right? Is euphemism, one often needs to put it in a roundabout way. As a result, euphemism often makes use of circumlocution. euphemism often use क्या कर देता है? circumlocution बना देता है। directly saying कि he is dead, directly saying he is dead, आप क्या बोलते हो उसको? he passes away, he is no more, right? उसको बोलते हैं euphemism, right? जैसे मैं ये कहूं one other orbed maiden with white fire laden has joined the class. तो इतना बड़ा कहने के बजाय सीधा बोल दो ना, a beautiful girl has joined the class, तो ये तो दोनों ही पॉजिटिव हो गया। बट अगर वो खराब हो, खराब को पॉजिटिव तरीके से प्रेजेंट करना, उसको बोलते हैं क्या? उसको बोलते हैं यूफिमिज्म। और जब छोटी चीज खराब को बड़ा बोलोगे तो अपने आप वो सर्कमलोक्यूशन हो जाएगा, अपने आप वो पेरिफ्रेसिस हो जाएगा। See what is the question mark, Mamta? I can't understand your question. It can be pun too. Yes, it could be pun. Pun means play on words. He could not satisfy his examiner. देखिए how beautiful example is given here. Right? Palatable means delicious. Wow. मुंह में पानी मत लाओ यार, कविता बुलाती तो हो नहीं कभी। How could not satisfy, he could not satisfy his examiner. आपने पेपर दिया, अच्छा गया था पेपर, बट आप पास नहीं, इसका मतलब थोड़ा ना आपने मेहनत नहीं की थी, मेहनत आपने बहुत किया था। लेकिन सिंपली क्या बोलेंगे आपके पेरेंट्स, आप अपने बच्चों को क्या बोलेंगे? तो माय चाइल्ड वर्कड हार्ड बट ही कुड नॉट सेटिस्फाई द एग्जामिनर। He could not satisfy the examiner simply means he failed. Simply means he failed, but instead of directly saying he failed, you say he could not satisfy the examiner. This is called euphemism. All right. He could not satisfy the examiner. He could not clear the test. This is euphemism. ये देखिए एग्जाम्पल्स रोज ऐड आता है, प्री ओन्ड कार खरीद लीजिए। अब हम ये नहीं कहते ना सेकेंड हैंड कार, सेकेंड हैंड कार थोड़ा खराब लगता है, राइट? तो बस हमारा मन तो ऐसे कभी नहीं होगा, सेकेंड हैंड कार थोड़ा खराब लगता है, आप उसको बोलते हो या कार वाले बोलते हैं। मारुति ने एक तो अलग से शोरूम जो है खोल दिया है और उसका नाम रखा है ट्रू वैल्यू, ट्रू वैल्यू। तो दैट इज euphemism. Instead of saying that you could sell your car here, तो क्या बोलते हैं? You could get true value here, right? Instead of saying second hand car, you say that pre-owned car. Pre-owned for used for second hand, right? Enhanced interrogation, खूब सारे क्वेश्चन पूछना। इनहांस्ड इंटरोगेशन मींस टॉर्चर करना, टॉर्चर। इंडस्ट्रियल एक्शन, यू कुड से दैट ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स आर ऑन इंडस्ट्रियल एक्शन टुडे, इट मींस दे हैव बंक्ड द क्लास। इंडस्ट्रियल एक्शन स्टैंड फॉर स्ट्राइक, राइट? डोंट मिस स्पीक, मिस स्पीक मींस डोंट लाई, मिस स्पीक is a polite way to say lie, right? Tactical withdrawal, tactical withdrawal is a word used for retreat. retreat का मतलब भाग खड़े होना, और tactical withdrawal थोड़ा पॉजिटिव वे है उसी चीज को कहने का। revenue augmentation, द गवर्नमेंट क्या काम करती है? revenue augmentation। सीधे ये ना कह करके कि टैक्स लगा दिया गया है, रेवेन्यू ऑगमेंट कर देती है, दैट इज यूफेमिज्म। विंड फॉर वेल्च और फाट, कन्वीनियंस फी फॉर सरचार्ज, राइट? आप बोलते हो ना टोल टैक्स, टोल टैक्स जो होता है दैट इज यूफेमिज्म फॉर टेकिंग एक्स्ट्रा चार्जेस, दैट इज यूफेमिज्म, टोल टैक्स। कर्टिसी रिमाइंडो, जैसे कविता का बिजनेस है और मेरे यहाँ सामान भेज दिया तो बिल नहीं भेजती, क्या भेजती है? कर्टिसी रिमाइंडो, राइट? कर्टिसी रिमाइंडर अपने आप समझ जाता है आदमी कि रिमाइंडर क्या है, तो तगादा नहीं सीधा बोला है, कर्टिसी रिमाइंडो, दैट इज फॉर बिल। अनलॉफुल कम्बैटेंट फॉर प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर, unlawful combatant means he was fighting illegally, unlawfully, that's why he has become a prisoner, prisoner बन गया है। तो prisoner of war के लिए unlawful combatant बोलते हैं। These are the examples of euphemism. And one more example Meera is showing here, to disabled, we people called Divyang, right? We people called Divyang, and this is the euphemism. Instead of directly saying something, you are lame, you are deaf, you are blind, we say that you are Divyang. This is the positive word, positive expression to express harsh reality. We use euphemism. And there is one figure of speech where to express positivity we use नेगेटिव वर्ड्स, वी यूज हार्श वर्ड्स. हार्श वर्ड्स का भी यूज करते हैं हम, उस पर भी अभी आते हैं थोड़ी देर में. These points are, I hope, clear to you. Euphemism and innuendo. What is the difference? Both euphemism and innuendo refer to something in an indirect manner. The difference once again is one of intent, and innuendo is often prompted by a hostile feeling because it wants to hurt, and a euphemism on the other hand is prompted by a kindly feeling, it wants to spare. हमारे यहाँ वीक स्टूडेंट्स को बोलते हैं राइजिंग स्टार. वाह, हमारे मैथ के सर थे, वो कोई फेल हो जाता था मैथ्स में, हमारे जमाने में बहुत बच्चे हाई स्कूल में फेल हो जाया करते थे बैक राइट इन द 20th सेंचुरी. तो वो किसी को ये नहीं कहते थे कि ये फेल हो गया है, वो कहते थोड़ा कम पास हुआ है, थोड़ा कम पास हुआ है, इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली सेइंग कि फेल हो गया है. ये उनका यूफेमिज्म था. तो 8वीं क्लास में ही मैंने इस यूफेमिज्म को जान लिया था. वर्ड यूफेमिज्म नहीं जानता था, बट ये जरूर समझ गया था कि यूफेमिज्म किसको कहा जाता है, कैसे टाइप के एग्जाम्पल्स होते हैं. ममता, आप भी पढ़ाते हो ना, कहाँ पढ़ाते हो आप? यूफेमिज्म और पेरिफ्रासिस भी हमने आपको बताया कि हार्श वर्ड को पॉजिटिव करने में, सॉफ्ट करने में वी यूज अननेसेसरी वर्ड्स, और वो अननेसेसरी वर्ड्स जो है वो पेरिफ्रासिस क्रिएट कर देते हैं, सर्कमलोक्यूशन क्रिएट कर देते हैं. These are the examples. She has not stated the truth. Instead of directly saying that she lied, but you say that she has not stated the truth. This has become a circumlocution. This has become a periphrasis. You could also say she lied. Right? She lied. It is a direct statement. And euphemism is an indirect figure of speech, so it uses indirect expressions. Right? She has not stated the truth. It means she lied. She breathed her last. She breathed her last. उसने आखिरी सांस ली. Breathed her last means she died. This is circumlocution and positive way of saying something harsh. He died on the scaffold. He died on the scaffold means he was hanged. He is short in his accounts. I am always short in my accounts. He is always in need of money. He is short in his accounts. He is poor. The light-fingered gentleman of trams and bushes. Light-fingered gentleman of trams and bushes. ट्रैम में, बस में, मेट्रो में, रेलवे में होता है. और कैसा होता है? लाइट फिंगर्ड, बहुत धीमे से, हल्के से हाथ चला देता है. इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली सेइंग कि ही इज अ पिक पॉकेट, यू से दैट ही इज अ मैन. लाइट फिंगर्ड जेंटलमैन भी है, इज लाइट फिंगर्ड जेंटलमैन ऑफ ट्रैम्स एंड बसेस. अ टर्मिनोलॉजिकल इनएग्जैक्टिट्यूड, इसका मतलब होता है लाई. अब जरा एक एप्लीकेशन लिखिएगा और उस एप्लीकेशन में ना इन सारे फ्रेजेस को यूज करिएगा एक तरफ से. और जब सारे फ्रेजेस को आप यूज कर लोगे ना, देखिए कितना जबरदस्त तैयार होगी. ममता क्या बोलेगी अपनी स्टूडेंट्स को? सम ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट्स always use they are always terminologically inexactitude because they never stated the truth, right? They are short of accounts, they are always short of account. That's why I could not give them harsh punishments. He is safe with gentle Jesus. Gentle Jesus, जीसस के पास पहुंच गए. He is safe in the hands of God. आप बोलते हो ना, इसका मतलब वो मर गया है. He is safe in the hands of God. He is safe with the gentle Jesus, means he is dead. And to relieve a person of his money bag, बहुत पैसे लिए जा रहे थे, क्या किया आपने? आपने उनको रिलीफ दे दिया, सुकून दे दिया उनका पैसा लेकर के. मतलब पैसा आपने चुराया और सुकून उनको मिल गया. ये है यूपी. क्लियर? क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं? देखिए कितने इंटरेस्टिंग से एग्जांपल्स हैं, कितने मजेदार एग्जांपल्स हैं. एंड सच इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जांपल्स कुड बी यूज्ड इन योर डेली एक्सप्रेशन, इन योर डेली लैंग्वेज. आप रोज इनको यूज कर सकते हो. और जो रोज यूज वाले वर्ड्स होते हैं ना, वो कभी भूलते नहीं हैं, वो हमेशा माइंड में बने रह जाते हैं. राइट? She has not stated the truth. She breathed her last. She died on the scaffold. He is short in his accounts. Light-fingered gentleman of tramps and bushes. A terminological inexactitude. He is shaped with the gentle Christ, gentle Jesus, and to relieve a person of his money bag. And the counterpart, नहीं, opposite of euphemism is dysphemism or cacophemism. Cacophemism और dysphemism ये दोनों सेम होते हैं. और instead of saying something polite for harsh, here we say something harsh for polite. Harsh for polite ये उसका opposite है. Right? Dysphemism is the substitution of more offensive or disparaging word or phrase for one considered less offensive, such as the use of slang term shrink for psychiatrist. Psychiatrist को shrink बोल देना. Dysphemism is the opposite of euphemism. जैसे I am off for a fish, इसका मतलब समझ रहे हो ना? I am off for a fish, ये आपने बोल दिया है. बोलना आपको क्या था कि excuse me for a moment, right? Excuse me for a moment, आपने क्या बोल दिया कि I am off for a fish. इसको अपोजिट ये यूफेमिज्म. राइट? टॉयलेट को कंफर्ट स्टेशन कहा जाता है, ये यूफेमिज्म. राइट? टॉयलेट इज कंफर्ट स्टेशन, ये यूफेमिज्म है. और कंफर्ट स्टेशन आप अपने घर को बोल देते हो, घर तो नरक हो गया है. तो जो घर नरक हो गया है ना, होना क्या चाहिए था? होना चाहिए था स्वर्ग. आपने बोल दिया नरक हो गया है. ये डिस्फेमिज्म है, ये कैकोफिज्म है. क्लियर? ये देखिए, होटल में खाना खाने जाते हो, सॉरी रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाने जाते हो, तो आप टिप देते हो ना. तो टिप क्या है? यूफेमिज्म है कि डिस्फेमिज्म? पहले बता दो फिर आगे बढ़ता हूं. व्हाट इज टिप, यूफेमिज्म और डिस्फेमिज्म? टिप देते हो ना किसी को हेल्प करने के लिए, इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली सेइंग आई एम हेल्पिंग यू, क्या बोलते हो? आई एम टिपिंग यू. इज इट यूफेमिज्म और डिस्फेमिज्म? देयर आर टू वर्ड्स, ग्रेच्युटी एंड टिप. एंड जो भी कुछ आप समझते होगे, टिप इज डिस्फेमिज्म and gratuity is euphemism, right? Tip is dysphemism and gratuity is euphemism. I used to think gratuity was the euphemism for tip until I discovered that I had got it the wrong way round. And that tip was a dysphemism for gratuity. Tip was a dysphemism for a gratuity and originally meant a gift made to anyone, including an equal. राइट, इंक्लूडिंग एंड इक्वल टिप आप अपने बराबर वाले को भी दे सकते हो, दैट इज अ गिफ्ट, राइट, दैट इज अ गिफ्ट। और जब आप वो किसी वेटर को देते हो थिंकिंग दैट ही नीड ऑफ मनी, तो टिप नहीं, दैट इज राइट। टिप कैन बी गिवन टू योर इक्वल वन, दैट इज डिस्फेमिज्म, राइट। इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग पॉजिटिव वर्ड ग्रेच्युटी, you use tip, that is the negative one, that has a negative connotation, right। ये देखिए, ये बर्ड है एंड क्या काम कर रही है, फीडिंग इट्स किड्स, अपने किड्स को ना फीड कर रही है। क्या काम कर रही है, टिपिंग का कि ग्रेच्युटी का, बताओ, टिप का दे रही है कि ग्रेच्युटी दे रही है? असल में होता यह है कि we use so many words in a very wrong way. Even we are Indians, and we are not aware of the literal sense of the meaning, right। हमारे यहाँ तो ऐसा कुछ फंडा ही नहीं है, तो हम वर्ड्स को सुन लेते हैं और उनको यूज करना शुरू कर देते हैं, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स ऐसा होता है कि वी नॉट नो द रियल कनोटेशन ऑफ द वर्ड, और हम उसको रोजमर्रा यूज करते रहते हैं। And once we come to understand कि what was the real connotation of the word, then we feel shame। जब हमको लगता है कि अरे क्या गड़बड़ कर दिया था अभी तक मैंने, है ना, वो गड़बड़ कर दिए था। गड़बड़ क्या होता है कि हम जान ही नहीं रहे हैं कि, तो इसको आपने बोल दिया है कि ये ग्रेच्युटी है, ये टिप नहीं है ना। शाबाश, वेरी गुड। जाइएगा डिक्शनरी एक बार ढूंढिएगा। Death generates such typical euphemism as to pass away, to pass on, to depart this life, to go to one's maker, to be safe in Jesus' hand, to be with God. These are the expressions that we use as euphemism for death. Parallel dysphemism would be snuff it, to croak, and to push up disease, since these allude graphically and cruelly to the physical aspect of death, down to breathing one's last, the death rattle, and being reincorporated into the cycle of nature। जी, कैकोफैनी तो होगा ही डिफॉल्टर। ये देखिए कौन से भाई साहब बने, ये मंकी है ना, और मंकी क्या हाथ में क्या लिया हुआ है, रेंच, WRENCH, रेंच बोलते हो ना, हम लोग उसको बचपन से आज तक हिंदी समझते थे कि रिंच है ना, हमारे यहाँ तो उसको रिंच कहा जाता है और आपके यहाँ भी यही कहा होता होगा, बट इनफैक्ट ये इंग्लिश का वर्ड है, इसको रेंच कहते हैं, राइट। एंड ही सीम्स टू बी अ मैकेनिक एंड इट इज मंकी ही हो, मंकी है ना। अब देखिए ये स्लैंग है, क्या स्लैंग है, the slang expression greased monkey is a cacophonistic term for a garage mechanic. The term can be used in either a pejorative or an affectionate sense, right। ये क्या है, slang है, greased monkey। greased monkey slang is a dysphemism for a mechanic। किसी मैकेनिक को ग्रीज मंकी कह देना, उसको चिढ़ा देना है, ये डिस्फेमिज्म है। ऑलराइट, और एग्जांपल, नेक्स्ट फिगर ऑफ स्पीच इज मियोसिस। मियोसिस क्या होता है, मियोसिस इज द ऑपोजिट ऑफ हाइपरबोलिक। मियोसिस एंड लाइटोटिस के अंडर स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं। मियोसिस अंडरस्टेटमेंट होता है दिस फीचर कंसिस्ट मेकिंग एन अंडरस्टेटमेंट. The effect is usually ironic or anticlimactic. To belittle, use a degrading epithet or nickname, often through a troop of one word, a concise form of invective, meiosis, a kind of humorous understatement that dismisses or belittles, especially by using terms that make something seem less significant than it really is or ought to be. किसी को belittle करना, किसी को demean करना, किसी की हाई प्रोफाइल को लो प्रोफाइल कर देना, इसको बोलते हैं meiosis. Meiosis often achieved through a troop of one word, right? Generally one word के through आता है. May range from bitter scorn to light derision. Bitter scorn to light derision कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? आप एक पोएट को राइमस्टर बोलते हो because he creates rhyme, and when you say to a poet you are a rhymester, that is the example of meiosis. Pecker checker इसको बोलते हैं urologist. Urologist is called pecker checker. This is meiosis. Grease monkey for machine of a mechanic. Ambulance chaser for personal injury lawyer. Ambulance chaser. Shrink for psychiatrist. Short order chef for morgue worker. Slasher for surgeon. Tree hugger for environmentalist. Environmentalist को tree hugger बोला जाता है. Right wing nut jobs for Republicans. Left wing penises for Democrats. The unspeakable in full pursuit of the uneatable, Oscar Wilde on fox hunting. The unspeakable in full pursuit of the uneatable, rhymester for poet, pecker checker for urologist, grease monkey for mechanic, ambulance chaser for personal lawyer, string for psychiatrist, short order chef for morgue worker, slasher for surgeon, tree hugger for environmentalist. ये लाइटटीज के एग्जाम ये मायोसिस के एग्जाम्पल हैं. एंड देन लाइटटीज इसको बोलते हैं, लिटोटस नहीं बोलते. लाइटटीज ये प्रोनाउंसिएशन में लिखा है लाइटोटीज with the stress on first syllable is a type of understatement in which something is affirmed by denying its negative. Something is affirmed by denying its negative. तो अगर हमको बताना है पॉजिटिव तो हम उसका नेगेटिव बता देते हैं. जैसे आप ये बोल दें 10 rupees are not less. 10 rupees are not less. It means 10 rupees are much. 10 रुपए बहुत होते हैं ये कहना है. और आप बोल दे 10 rupees are not less, that will be lightertease. Clear? Lightertease is regularly found in common speeches, saying I was not a little upset to mean I was very upset is an example of lightertease. Right? You say that I am not bored at all. इसका मतलब कि आप बहुत बोर हो रहे हो, ये lightertease है. Right? You are not dumb. In the same way, he is a citizen of no mean city. He is a citizen of no mean city. It means he is a citizen of a big city. He is a citizen of a famous city. So instead of directly saying that he is a citizen of famous city, you say that he is a citizen of no mean city. ये lightertease का example है. Consider the following examples. Into this wild abyss the weary fiend stood on the brink of hell and looked a while, pondering his voyage for no narrower frith he had to cross, nor was his ear less filled with noises loud and ruinous. मिल्टन के पैराडाइज लॉस्ट की लाइन है. Milton means to say that Satan had to cross a really huge estuary, right? And that his ears were resounding with deafening sounds. These extreme conditions are conveyed through the denial of the contrary. और denial of the contrary क्या है? No narrow or less field. ये नेगेटिव के थ्रू पॉजिटिव बता देना, ये काम होता है किसका? ये काम होता है लाइटोटीज का. एंड लाइटोटीज इज ऑल्सो नोन बाय दीज टू नेम्स. लाइटोटीज इज ऑल्सो नोन बाय दीज टू नेम्स. क्या दो नाम लिखा है? एंटीनेंटियोसिस and moderative. Moderative and antinantiosis. These are the two more names of Litotes. Hence, Litotes is known by three names. Litotes is known by three names. Are the examples. I hope it is no very cynical asperity not to confess obligations where no benefit has been received. Not a few men came to see Nehru. Not a few men came to see Nehru. It means a lot of people came to see Nehru. He is not unworthy, not inglorious son. He is not unworthy means he is very worthy. He is not inglorious means he is very glorious, right? It amused the king not a little means it amused the king very much. It amused the king not a little, it amused the king very much. And we are not amused. We are not amused means we are bored. This is a very famous line that Queen Victoria once spoke. Right, a remark attributed to Queen Victoria, we are not amused. How to identify Litotes? The very simplest way to identify is see the words like no, like never, like not, like less. These are the negative expressions, and these negative expressions connote positive meaning, and hence they are called Litotes. All right. Litotes is a form of irony. Irony का तो हर कोई फॉर्म ही है. Paradoxically, litotes like hyperbole involve intensification, suggesting that the speaker's feelings are too deep for plain expression. It is not bad. He is no Hercules. He is no beauty. ऐसे expressions आप daily life में use करते हो. Right? She is no beauty. He is no Hercules. He is no Hercules means he is not a brave person. Right? He is a coward. He is not bad means he is good. He is no beauty means she is ugly. He is not exactly a pauper means he is rich. Because of their two-layer significance, superficial indifference and underlying commitment, litotes are often treated as a category of irony. Irony की category litotes की भी था. And that is all for today's class. How was the class? Please let me know through your comments. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for enjoying the class. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing and sharing the channel. आप सभी को नव वर्ष की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. पूरी तरीके से आने वाला साल आपका मस्त हो. आप पूरी तरीके से अपने काम में व्यस्त रहें और अगले साल 2024 में आप सब के सब टीचर बन जाएं. यही मेरी शुभकामनाएं हैं. आप सभी को सब टीचर बन जाएं और सब मेरे से मिलने आए. और हम सब की फोटोज वायरल करें। राइट, ये सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं हमारी तरफ से आपको। बीता साल कैसा रहा उस पर बिल्कुल नहीं सोचना है। पास्ट इज इरिट्रीवेबल, वी हैव टू मेक आवर फ्यूचर। फ्यूचर बनाना है, और फ्यूचर कहाँ से बनता है? फ्यूचर बनता है प्रेजेंट से। तो एंजॉय ईच एंड एवरी मोमेंट ऑफ द अपकमिंग ईयर, एंड दैट एंजॉयमेंट विल गिव यू सक्सेस। Success is not as important as the performance. So do your work very honestly with complete devotion and dedication, and you will definitely get your desired result in the upcoming year. ऐसी मेरे विश है और ऐसा मुझे लगता है। थैंक यू सो मच आप सभी को। मस्त रहिए, बिल्कुल व्यस्त रहिए। कल संडे है, मंडे को 1 जनवरी को आई ट्राई टू मीट विद यू। राइट, फिर से आपसे मिलेंगे 2024 में। तब तक खूब मस्ती करिए, खूब मस्त रहिए, खूब व्यस्त रहिए, खूब खुश रहिए, खूब इंजॉय करते रहिए। अपना ख्याल रखिए, अपनों का ख्याल रखिए, मेरा भी ख्याल रखिएगा उसी के साथ। थैंक यू सो मच, ऑल द बेस्ट, बाय बाय, गुड लक, जय हिंद, जय भारत।